somebody for something you could not handle. Can I preach? I don't know, but a cup that is filled with water is never jealous. I'm still in the first part of a pitcher that is filled with water, and a pitcher that is filled with water is never jealous of a refrigerator that is filled with water, and a refrigerator that is filled with water is never jealous of a swimming pool or a preacher that's filled with water, and a swimming pool that is filled with water is never jealous of a lake or river that's filled with water, because the cup knows that I'm holding all that I can handle, and the pitcher knows that I'm holding everything that I can handle, and the refrigerator knows, the swimming pool knows, the lake knows, the river knows, and the bottle of water knows that I'm handling all that I can hold. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, if you don't have it, maybe God knew you couldn't hold it. See it, see it. They look at you, everyone like this, and say, neighbor, if you don't have it, maybe God knew you couldn't hold it. There's some things he could not give you because he knew that you were going to drop it like it's hot. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, you weren't ready for it last year, but I decree and declare, I speak into your life, I prophesy to you that this year you're ready to handle it. Somebody shout, I'm ready, Pastor. I'm ready for increase to hit my life. I'm ready for the new promotion before February. I'm ready for my husband or my wife. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, can I be honest? Last year I couldn't handle it, but this year I'm ready. I'm going higher. I'm ready, because last year was the worst year of my entire life, but I made it through, and I just believe that this is my year. Come on, devil, do what you gotta do. I still decree and declare that this is my year. When you run to three people and say, neighbor, if I could be honest, last year I would have lost it. Last year it would have got repossessed. Last year it would have went in foreclosure. But since last year I matured, I come up a bit. I believe now that what God has for me, I can hold it. Will somebody practice holding your blessing? Show God. Say, God, preach. The first one is there are three axioms that are connected to verse number 7. The first one is you will always reap more than what you sowed. Look at somebody and say you'll always reap more than what you sowed. Oh, I feel like preaching. The young man from Venus, Italy, planted one peanut, and from one peanut, Larry, watch this right here. The young man, hallelujah, reaped the harvest. I want somebody to understand today that if you plant one corn seed, then you ought to expect a corn stalk. Preach full of preacher. That's because God's got to prove to you, Red, that you will never, and I mean never, he's got to prove to you that you will never outgive him. Y'all ain't gonna help me, but I'm going anyway. A farmer who's got good sense never asks himself what I'm gonna lose, but they say to themselves, I'm talking about farmers now, when I plant this seed, what is it that I'm gonna get? Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, this year you got to change your language. And so let me give this to you. Philosophical, theological, and logically, that you always reap what you sowed. I don't know, but grandma said over in North Durham, she said what goes around comes around. Thank you, Sue Ann. And so if you need money, you ought to sow money. Where my sowers at? Say yeah. If you need love, you got to sow love. Y'all ain't gonna help me. If you need somebody to give to you, you need to practice giving to somebody else. Touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, all I want to know is last year, what have you been sowing? Okay, we graduated from last year. Let's bring it to this year. Look at somebody and tell them, what have you been sowing? That this is your harvest season. And you're about to blow up from the float up. And whatever it is that you've been planning the first 3 weeks of this year, I want to tell somebody that it's about to come into full bloom. Say yeah. Say yeah. I feel like preaching. I know y'all want the meat and the potatoes, but let me serve the entree first. Watch this right here. You got to understand that your season to be in full bloom is almost here. Watch this right here. Real quick. Shout at somebody and say, neighbor, all I want to know is the first 3 weeks of 15. What have you sowed? Watch this. You're about to come into full bloom. That's why some of y'all find it hard to shout.